That was a good try.
No, what I'm saying is people who realize that you can have kids from having sex. They don't plan on it. They don't plan for kids. They don't want kids, but they still busting it down or indirectly promoting having kids out of wedlock. Is it safe to say that?
No. As somebody who probably fall into this shot is supposed to come at, the answer is no, because I promote condoms, which is preventative.
That's what I was about to say. If they're not using protection, then yeah.
I mean, we all know some males though.
No, I'm gonna be honest with you. It ain't because these people ain't making babies because the condom is failing. Them motherfuckers ain't using one. That's the reality of it. I know we sit here and talk about condoms. Y'all, have y'all ever? I know we about to switch, not supposed to switch gears, but have y'all ever noticed in society how awkward incorporating the condom looks? No, I'm about to point to some examples.
You gotta get smooth with that.
I'm about to point to some examples. I'm just talking about in like pop culture, right? Have y'all ever noticed that they make like using a condom out in an awkward situation, but they like for instance, the guy asks like, "Oh, do you have a condom on?" Then it's always some weird situation where you got to fumble with the drawer or something like that, or you got to run into the other room, or like for instance, in
put the condom behind the pillow.
No, I get that there's a smooth way. I'm just talking about if you ever notice in society how they make wearing a condom or finding a condom or getting a condom look so awkward and weird, but they make
that's just a plot point. I think that's because it's funny to see. I mean, right? Like in movies, that's what you're talking about, like movies and TV.
Yeah, it's always
TV, but it's
trying to put it on, and you hear it rapping, he fumbling with it, he dropping it.
But if you notice,
comic relief, you know.
But if you notice though, they never make unprotected sex look awkward.
Yes, they do. When she shows up baby.
No, I'm talking about during the act. They never make that look awkward. They're like the smoothest transition. They be in the back, like it's always look smooth and everything else. You'd be like, I know. What if these?
What if that's protected sex too, though? And he just like real.
But they don't. But it doesn't appear that way. Have you ever looked at that scene and been like, yeah, he definitely put a condom on? You know damn well when you see it, you be like
deep into this, sweetie.
I'm just saying that this is the optics that we see in society. Anytime there's a condom involved in the situation, it's always an awkward situation. Either he like in what's the name of that movie with Jamie Foxx? Booty Call. When he wrapped his whole body up in saran wrap, and I get that was comic relief. But anytime you see a condom introduced into any sex scene, they make the sex scene very awkward. But when there's no condom involved, it's the smoothest transition. Like it's almost as if they're actively encouraging people to have unprotected sex.
You're right.
No, it's because they be virgins. Virgin sex is awkward. So
man, they make any sex look awkward.
Don't be a minute.
They make any condom scene look awkward. Yeah, except for the one where they try to purposely make it look cool. Even like y'all remember in the movie with Nick Cannon, what was it? Can't Buy Me Love, or whatever the fuck the name of that movie was. That whole saying about taking off the rubber, and then like his father taught him how to do it cool, and then when he actually got in the situation, the shit looked real awkward and funny and weird.
We watched two different movies because I seen him take off the rubber smooth as hell and fix a car battery with it.
What about the wood? Was it the wood?
Even the wood was real awkward. He had to crawl to the other room and find his brother condom because he pulled out this condom that he ain't used.
All the people you're listing were virgins in these movies. I just think we should point that out. In both of those scenarios,
so isn't it kind of alarming that anytime you see a condom in the video or in the situation, it always got to be a virgin using it?
No, because it's not. Listen, it's always smooth ways to put a condom on.
They don't encourage it.
My thing is, why does it have to be smooth?
Who don't have to be smooth? It's a fucking condom.
Yeah. Who cares if it's smooth or not? Are you clapping cheeks? And that's at the end of the day, that's the goal, right?
So you see my piece, I see your body. We all know. Bro, we cannot hear you.
Trev, you talking to yourself.
Trev, we can't hear you.
Can you hear us?
You got that fancy.
We can't hear you, bro.
I hear you.
Hey, I'm gonna pretend to be his voice. So right now, this is where you gotta lay the condom down. And if Shorty don't want the condom, I'm just pregnant, baby. Haven't you seen the BT commercials? Me, myself, I don't play that. You know what I'm saying? I tell her like, hey, baby, look, You gotta
Trey, bro, we cannot hear you, bro.
Struggle thing, man.
Somebody put
He
on the
laughing.
screen.
He don't know we're laughing at him.
Hold
Well,
on.
just because we don't hear him, don't mean he don't hear
I
us.
know he doesn't hear us either.
Hold on, wait. Here we
Put in
go.
the back chat.
But that just made me think about how we were talking about double standards earlier. Is there a double standard between girls who make sure they have protection on them just in case if they have sex versus boys having protection with them when they have sex? Are they looked at differently?
So you talking about if somebody pull up on a joint and they get
If
ready
she
to
has
bust it down
condom.
and she pull out a drawer full of magnums and shit like that,
If she pulls out a condom, yeah.
they gonna
Is
look at
there-
her as trifling, probably like, damn, you be doing this a lot. Yeah, they gonna do that. Yeah, what? You got all these goddamn kids. Especially if she pull out the roll of that motherfucker, like,
But if she got a
Like,
roll, that
yo.
means she ain't using them.
you gonna look at her garbage can
Exactly.
and try to see if
You know
it-
what? Actually, you know what? You might be on to something there, Shan. If she got a roll of it, that means I don't know.
Like
I
if
don't
it's one missing, that means nigga she ain't used them. Now
It's
you
supposed to
should
be she
concerned if the
responsible
one
though.
missing
Ain't
is
that what
one
they
left.
teaching though? Just be responsible, right?
That was my point that I was getting at. Is that how
Yeah.
sometimes the double standards
She
put
damn if
people
she do and she damn if she
situation
don't. It ain't even a
because
double standard. She just damn regardless.
right because
I
if a
think
woman
we are no
having
Go ahead.
protection because she's dependent on a guy to have it to avoid that very concept that you're saying that if she has protection, she's going to be perceived as being a hoe, right?
You never even
So
see
she
women buy the
doesn't carry
condoms.
protection. Hold on. So she doesn't carry protection using that, leaving that up to the guy to have it.
But
So
I
that
was
would
gonna
be
say, I was gonna
I've
say, I
never
think there's
seen them
another layer
I've
to
never
it
seen
too.
them come to the register with a box. Like they scared to do that. They probably had somebody go in that bitch and buy it for them and just bring it to the car or something.
I was gonna add
I mean,
another layer to it
Amazon
too.
is a thing though. Like you can order them on Amazon, and you don't have to go.
Yeah, the
hard.
fact that she know that you can order them lets you know that she wouldn't walk in the store and walk out of that bitch with a canister.
Not me.
I
I
was
do all
gonna-
the check counter proud. Like, yeah, ring this up.
I was gonna say I was gonna add another layer to it also that men don't tend to trust women with condoms either. Like trust the woman with his condom anyway, so he ain't gonna use the shit she give him anyway. Cause he like,
You
man,
didn't want to use it in
Wait,
the
stop
first
lying.
place.
Don't lie. Say you ain't never used one that woman gave you.
I always had my own.
My cousin told me he ties it
No,
off.
I learned. I was told never trust nobody else. Always bring your own rubbers to the table.
My
You know why I
cousin
know you
said
lying?
afterwards he
'Cause if
even
you hit
ties
a
it
raw,
up and takes it.
You got the audacity to
I think a motherfucker that hit it raw don't give a shit about her having a condom or not. So
True.
that's what I'm
he
saying.
don't care whether she pulled one out or not. He was gonna go in there raw anyway. But like I think there is another layer where men are told to bring their own. Like you never trust a woman with your rubber because you know she can do anything to that mug. Even though I'm sure that it's few and far between, but that don't make it any less of a thing that men worry about.
Yeah, I bring my condoms and I take them with me afterwards.
Throw then tie that motherfucker up and
Why don't you just flush
Somebody
it down the
good point,
toilet?
Sonny.
Why don't you just flush it down the toilet? I'm not understanding.
Because I tie
Well,
them up.
I don't
So
think
what
you're
if you
supposed
get
to flush
caught and then
them down
you
the
pull
toilet.
it out and then utilize it? No, I'll wet it, then clean it with the tissue or the paper towel, make sure there's nothing leaking, put that boy in my pocket and dispose of it later.
Y'all need to stop going into this trifling, this cooch y'all be going into.
man, look, we done
Damn.
seen the most
do all
sound and
that.
sensible women do men dirty. I ain't trying to hear all that. I'd rather a man
When you
protect
gotta do
himself at
all of that,
times.
you don't need to be smashing. That
Please
says
do
a lot
all of
about
that.
you
Mic check,
smashing.
bro.
You do all. Look, I ain't got no
we can't
random
hear you, bro.
kids out here in the toilet or otherwise. My strategy worked. That's all I'm gonna say.
You know what? Do what
This
works
is
for you.
somebody's. Never mind. Let me shut up.
Do
I
what
think,
works
Go
for
ahead.
you.
because I
You
think
gotta
men do it with,
expose yourself.
I think some men do it with all women. It doesn't matter what caliber of woman. If you don't want no kids, this is why I always say people are adamant on not having children. Don't have them. When you say I'm not having no goddamn kids, you don't have kids. And
Right.
it's because of that mindset. I don't care if you I don't care if you Michelle Obama. I'm about to roll this mug up, tie it off at the end. Well,
I
my
don't
make sure there ain't no leaks in there. put it in my pocket, and I'm taking that bitch home, and I'm gonna throw it in the trash.
Oh,
Just have a
But we
diamond
see-
in your pocket, huh?
I got trapped.
but we
I
see
deal
how
with that. It's
ineffective-
already on the crouch.
You got trap.
But we see how ineffective that is.
What does trap look
All
like?
the little
Yeah, I got
measures you
trapped.
take.
So when
My
you can
husband
get
told
trapped,
me he was trying to
What
get
does
me
trap look
pregnant
like?
on purpose, and I didn't know. No, I wasn't in
He was
on
trying
the.
to, he was trying to get you pregnant on purpose. Can you explain that to me? How that looks?
it looks like they pink. Never mind. That's gonna give you.
It looked like when she say come at me, he'd be like, okay, that's what that looks
No.
like.
No,
Right,
it,
come on, some
looks
trap.
like it
No, no,
looks
no.
like pin her down on the thing from the she laying flat, can't move.
You sound
I
like
know
you
what it
talking
look
about
like.
your experience.
And you gonna still be throwing that thing back. You ain't
I don't know
doing.
why
You
It's
ain't
y'all
hard to
lying.
move. It depends on
I don't know
how
why
strong
y'all
you
sit here
are.
lying.
No, what I mean by
Bullshit.
that, honestly, though, is the fact that I didn't know he was intentionally trying to get me pregnant.
It's a
Like we
joke.
never talked about, you know what I'm saying? Like having kids or whatever. So and I remember the session
No,
in
but
which
that's not
when
trapping.
I
Yeah,
got
but that's
pregnant.
not. Yeah, but that's not
I
trapping.
know for
No,
two
if it was
people
in
are,
his mind that he was trying
if
to get
two
me
people
pregnant
are
and I didn't.
actively no, if two people are actively engaging, then two people understand the consequences that come with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
if
like-
you're used to pulling out, right?
No,
And that's your
that's not
method.
not a trap. I mean, that's the game that you play. It's risky.
Yeah, but you
I
gotta
mean, if
understand
two
how-
people
you gotta
agreed
understand-
on one thing and one person did not follow through, that I mean,
Right, that's what I'm
yes,
saying.
I
It's about
get that
intention.
you
He
both
wasn't
should know
trying
that
to
there's
get
the risk
pregnant, but
there,
he was.
obviously.
But when you guys
Right.
are in that moment, nothing's guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed in that moment.
Cause JR,
Wait,
you ain't
hold
never
on. Let me
said,
get. Hold
JR,
on. I
you ain't
got
never
one
said,
question
I
for
promise you
mistake.
I'm gonna pull
That
out.
was
You
a
ain't never
great
said that.
moment.
Hold on.
too.
Wait a minute. Mistaken. So you mean to tell me that he was intentionally trying to get you pregnant? He ain't never once during intercourse said, "I'm about to put a baby in you."
Mm-mm.
He ain't never said that. Man, I
No.
call Cap. I
JR,
call.
you ain't never
I'm
said,
serious.
you ain't never said, look, you know how sometimes
Who
y'all,
says
and I
that?
done heard,
Y'all be saying
A
that?
lot of dudes say that shit. They'll tell a woman, "I'm about to put a baby in you," straight up.
They do.
Oh,
I say a lot of
okay.
shit.
I done heard niggas say
Look,
that too.
you,
Well,
you
I also,
can't.
Baby number 2 and baby number 3, I'm pretty sure my ex-husband said those exact words. So, to be fair,
I wouldn't even go that far though. But like some of the guys, don't y'all like be like, you know what I'm saying? I promise I'm gonna pull out or something like that. Like ladies, have y'all ever heard a man say, look, you know how sometimes they be begging to get the real thing after you don't gave it to him with the condom,
Yeah.
and he like, yo, when you gonna let me get it? You know, they be just keep pressuring you, and they say, I promise I'm gonna pull out, but then they, oh my
But
God, it was just feeling too
that's-
good.
That's the difference, though. That's not trapping somebody into having a baby. That's just
That is
lying to get in there wrong. Like he ain't like
That
a
is
dude.
No,
His
but-
intention still
no,
ain't to
that's
give
a
her a
trap.
baby. No, no. All right. So what
Finish
is
this
mean by?
side.
Hold on, wait. No. So to Mistaken's point, she said intention matters, right? So if a dude is just intent, like if he's intentionally telling you, "I'm going to give you, let me hit it raw. I promise you, I'll pull out." He's only doing it with the intention of hitting it raw. He's not doing it with the intention of trapping you with a
To
baby.
your knowledge, but
You know,
to
but
his,
it's a possibility
might
that
be
you
like,
still get.
I'm gonna
it's a
stay in this
possibility you still
motherfucker.
get pregnant. It's a possibility.
Yeah, absolutely. But
But
Right. So
go ahead. Sorry.
it's a risky game that you guys are playing together. Anytime you guys
I won and
engage-
lost at the same time.
That's what I'm saying. It's ineffective. Because I get to 9 times out of 10, people who go in here having sex protected and they call themselves something. Like they label themselves something. At some point, they're gonna want to try the raw.
Can y'all hear me now?
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell happened. I had to close the browser out. I don't know what the hell that was. Yeah, I kind of wanted to say something earlier.
We
hopefully
lost
it's
the
still
point.
relevant.
You got to go back and tell us the whole.
hopefully it's still relevant. So I was gonna say that if anybody agrees that there are just some people who shouldn't be parents at all. Like I know some people who are responsible for 20, 30, or even as high as 40 deletions between plans B and C, right? And I don't think that they should be parents. They obviously don't want to be parents. There are some people who don't have the nurturing skills. There are some people who are just not prepared, or like you said, like hyper individualist, selfish, whatever the case. But there are some people who you would pray to God would not reproduce. And I think that we have to be careful when we try to encourage everyone, right? Certain people just should not procreate. Certain people don't deserve to procreate. And that might be a controversial take, but the hell with that. Certain people should not have children. I strongly believe that there are some people who just should not reproduce.
So I disagree with you for this reason.
Okay.
One, we live in the most technological advanced era in life. The standard of living today for the poorest person is greater than the standard of living 200 years ago for the richest person in this very day. Two, I know people who real messed up family situations, all that stuff, went on to become successful or good people to be around. So I wouldn't like take the ability for them to have life because their parents messed up. I get where you're coming from, but I think that this is my personal opinion. I think that adopting that is why we got like 30 million deletions as opposed to 30 million additional people in the Black community. That's my personal opinion.
To me, I don't even think they should. I don't believe in deletions. I think they should either get a hysterectomy or vasectomy. I don't believe in deleting people. Right? That's not the solution. The solution is for you to just get fixed and stop. And I'm not the
Stop
people who
having
you're
sex?
describing. The people who you are describing are outliers, right? Those are circumstances that it happens, and I ain't going to doubt that. You're right on that, but it's far and rare. I think that there are many more cases where we see the failures of this, where you see degenerates, people who grow up to harm others, people who are users and abusers and everything else that harm people who are not supposed to fall victim to that. And that's the problem that I have with that. When you are prone to create degenerates that are going to contribute to the destruction of society, it goes against the survival of the fittest. It makes us a worse race of people when you procreate, and you probably shouldn't. And I'm not talking about the fact that I'm talking about not only just that, but the adverse effects and the abuse that child is probably going to go through because of parents that don't want them.
Like, we have to be careful about that because we don't want to get into eugenics, right? Where like these people are better people, because then you get into some serious problems that we've already had in our history. But to me, it's like anybody who doesn't want to be a parent should not be a parent, right? So like, yes, we're talking about should all women be mothers? Well, I mean, if a woman doesn't want to be a mother, she's probably not going to be a good one, right? And so like, then you're going to end up with children who have the trauma, who turn into, you know, the people that, you know, you might be referencing. To me, it's like, if you don't want to be a parent, I'm not going to encourage you to be a parent. Be a parent if you want to be one.
I don't think I said very much different. But what I would challenge you with is, I would ask you this question: which one of those people that I've described do you think should continue to procreate?
Neither one of them.
I mean, it feels like
they made it clear they didn't want to procreate.
I think that's what she said. Those who don't want to procreate,
but that's not what I said. I said there are certain people who also should. Besides that, right? Not the people who just don't want to, but some people who just won't do a good job at it, right? Mostly the people who are not preparing to be parents, right? The people who
Sweeney just told you can't prepare though.
No, so what he's saying is some of y'all just don't need your life is funny. You act funny, even the way you think is funny.
That's subjective.
You do not need to be
biased to the person looking on the outside.
To be carried on. Just stop it at you.
Yeah, that's unfair.
Let's not keep it going.
That's unfair.
I mean, at the start,
who's the judge of that though? Like,
that's what I'm saying. It's unfair.
No, the judge.
Listen, we're talking about encouraging people, right? There are certain people who I'm going to judge and not encourage them to be parents. It's a judgment call.
The thing about it,
it's a
your father told you
you've got to be careful about
be fruitful and multiply and go bring me some grandbabies.
He's just telling you. We're just having.
I'm just telling you, I'm not going to encourage certain people to be parents, and nobody going to stop me from doing that shit neither. There's certain people who I won't encourage. I don't give a fuck how y'all feel about it. Certain people I will not encourage to procreate. It is what it is. That's just how I feel about it.
Okay,
I'm not going to. I'm talking about encouraging. I didn't say I was going to try to lawfully stop anyone. I'm not going to jump in the way of somebody's dick aiming for a pussy. What I'm not going to do is encourage certain people to procreate. That's all I said. Certain
would you encourage
don't need the encouragement, and they won't get it from me.
Would you encourage sex?
If you are fixed, Go right ahead. Have at it. Do as you will. I'm not the sex police either. I just said I won't encourage. We were talking about encouraging people to be parents. That's where my argument stops. There's certain people I will certainly never encourage. That's just what it's going to be. There's nothing anybody can say to convince me otherwise, because I think it's weird to encourage people. I think it's weird to encourage people who I feel like are going to be bad parents and are going to be the cause of someone else's detriment. I can't see.
How do you know they're gonna be bad parents until they have it?
You never know, but I'm just not going to encourage certain people. It's a judgment call that I will make. As far as certain people, I'm like, they probably should be parents, and I won't encourage them. I'm not going to police them. I'm not going to stop them, but I damn sure won't encourage them.